Liz Glagowski, Managing Editor at One-to-One Media. While working on the latest issue of One-to-One magazine, our editorial staff got to sit down with some of this year's customer champions to find out what sets them apart from the average executive. We discovered a lot of it comes from within. For example, we asked about each champion's management style. Lilian Johnson, Director of Fan Development for the NBA, wants to provide an inclusive and team-oriented environment for her staff.
I went to business school at Kellogg, and one of the reasons I chose Kellogg, because it is reflective of my manager style, it's a very much inclusive, team-oriented environment. I believe that it's important to involve the people that would actually be executing on the task in the decision as much as possible for you to still be effective and move, make decisions as stealthily as possible. Mm-hmm. So it's very much inclusive and very much team-oriented, and I try to be very inspirational and understand what it is people that work for me are looking to do and identify opportunities within their current role to help them get there.
And Boyd Beasley, Senior Director of Customer Support at Electronic Arts, forgoes bureaucracy to learn from those in the trenches.
I learned a little bit as an industrial engineer at Clemson University. They told us you can't go into a plant, reorganize the factory floor, or change the production line unless you understand the consequences of each of your decisions. And if you believe you can learn from a textbook or from talking to managers what you need to do, and that that's all you need to know, you're going to make lots of mistakes and upset lots of employees and miss lots of easy things you could do to improve the facility. Basically, they drilled into our heads, talk to the frontline people, because typically the smart frontline guys always have very viable and valid ideas to improve whatever it is their particular role is, and maybe the whole plant in general.
At Sony, Vice President of Multi-Channel Mike Fasulo is always learning about new ways to interact with customers and colleagues.
I do some blogging, not as much as I'd like because it is quite a bit of fun. We do some more extensive blogging internally, but I do some blogging. I have adopted, I wouldn't call it an expertise, but I'm training myself as much as I can on text messaging, which I think is a great social medium because it's just quick and easy, and you're forced to make your points in a very concise manner.
At the core of each customer champion is customer centricity. Ian Sutcliffe, General Manager of Marketing and Brand Experience for Westpac New Zealand, admits he wants to spend more time interacting directly with customers.
And what % of your time do you spend directly speaking to customers?
Not enough, would be my honest answer. And I think, being in and the expense of making excuses, trying to get my head around the banking industry is taking a little bit of time, but I absolutely want to get more time in out in the customer environment. So in an ideal world, it would be great to get to sort of 25 to 30% of my time out there talking to customers. We're talking direct. We're obviously spending a lot more time than that, understanding them through whether it be focus groups, through our research, etc., talking to our branch network that are in direct contact. But I would say I do not spend enough time out there talking to the customers.
We also asked what are champions most passionate about at work. The NPA's Lilian Johnson is passionate about harnessing the passion of fans to deliver a great experience.
I don't know. It is. It's about creating experiences that people have never, ever had. It's about using the creativity and the resources that we have. It's an environment that so many people are passionate about, and leveraging all of the things that people are passionate about and using it to create an experience that they could not get anywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what's going to distinguish us, is what they can, is providing them things that they cannot get anywhere else. And so I'm very, very, very passionate about discovering those opportunities and delivering them and seeing the fruits of the labor and the effort.
And following along those lines, Janet LeBlanc of Canada Post works hard to ensure all employees understand and provide a positive customer experience at every touch point.
Well, the thing that I'm most passionate about, ensuring that every employee in the company is accountable for the customer experience and understands their role in making the customer experience a positive one. So in the past, the customer was always the sales rep's responsibility or primary responsibility. But, through the efforts of this customer value management program, I've been able to communicate and educate to the company to say everyone needs to play a role, and we have to understand what your role is and what your contribution will be. And I think it's very important that people recognize their role, because if they can add to the customer experience, it's very fulfilling for them and just contributes to their overall fulfillment as an employee of Canada Post.
This valuable information just scratches the surface of all the insight the 2008 One-to-One Customer Champions have to offer. Visit one-to-onemedia.com for articles, videos, and more from this year's class of customer-focused executives.